Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy Sean Spencer, and finally, football is back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I don't know if you can tell, but somebody over here is excited. This guy, yes, sir. But hey, you know what it is. I'm in Let's Talk Football, so you know I'm not alone. And in this show, Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable, I am here sitting in for my guy, Mr. Nicholas. I want the smoke, Rosario. And I'm here with these two amazing people who are well-versed in the podcast, in the show game. First and foremost, my guy over here, Mr. Anthony Handy. What up, Anthony?
Hey, man, what's going on? Yo, I'm still bopping to that theme song. That theme song is dope.
It is hot, man. I know. I'm like, dang, I need to get more of that. Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to start. I'm ready. I'm over here crunk dancing before we came.
Right.
I'm like Chris Brown in 06. Is your man on the floor?
Yeah, buddy. And yo, you already know who it is. Right down here from the windy city of Chicago, Delilah Crespo.
Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing, good people? If sometimes I look a little out of it, it's because I'm a teacher by day.
How is that going, by the way?
It's going good. It's just more like getting everything up and running because it's still, for us over here, still the first few weeks. So it's getting everybody back into the swing of things.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Andrew Faubert, what's going on, my friend? Loyal with the first. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, shout out to the teachers who are back in school. I know Kat has the same kind of look and feel to it. She's just like, already dealing with some of this stuff already. But yo, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And Anthony second. Here we go. We are going to go ahead and get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
You already know I'm hyped. I've been hyped since Saturday.
Yes, but yeah, buddy. But before we get into this football talk, man, we got to shout out one of the co-founding members of the Let's Talk Football family, Miss Janae Struther and her wife, Savvy, have been together for 3 years. Happy anniversary.
Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary. Anniversary. There you go.
Oh, that was beautiful.
There we go. Nice.
That was great.
So shout out to them. Been married for 3 years.
Let's go.
As you know, they have their new darling baby girl, future Commanders fan. I'm trying early. But they are doing amazing. Janae and I will be back soon, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're going to try to figure it out. But Let's Talk Football. We'll be back with you. But ladies and gentlemen, you are here today, and it's Let's Talk Football, the round table. And what do we do on the show? We talk football, ladies and gentlemen. And in every football game, it starts off with what? A coin toss. Yeah, buddy. The coin toss and opening segment of Let's Talk Football. Look, we know Thursday, the first game start. The first game starts and Sunday. All of it goes down into the next week of the Monday game where you have a couple. It's so exciting to see what's happening. But one thing that we know, and Delilah, I'm coming to you first, is there is a number of quarterbacks that either last year or in recent years started somewhere, used to be studs somewhere, maybe has fallen off. And now this year, they are starting at a new place. Look, you know my guy, Carson Wentz. He's bounced around from a couple teams. He was in Indianapolis last year. He's with Washington now. Geno is going to get the start over Drew Lock in Seattle. Mitch is going to get the start in Pittsburgh. Anthony's boy, Matt Ryan, is leaving Atlanta for Indy. And Mariota is coming to Atlanta from the Raiders. There's a number of other guys. But Delilah, what are your thoughts on this? And, you know, who are you expecting to kind of settle in first?
I think Matt Ryan will settle in really nicely. Mm-hmm. I think he's set up for success just with that team alone. Like, he's got the running backs, he's got the receivers, they got a decent defense on the other side. So I think that they really, that's the system that when you think about Peyton Manning and, like, you know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's as good as Peyton Manning. That's what I mean. I meant that, like, that kind of guy. Like, yeah. So, like, I think he's set up for success more so than the rest. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like if he doesn't get W's out of this, that's going to be more on him. But for me, he really is set up for success more than the other quarterbacks, just in terms of experience. And we remember Matty Ice. I know it's been a while, but, Yeah.
League MVP, offensive rookie of the year, NFC player of the year. But one year I think he was a passing leader for the league. Took his team to the Super Bowl. So he's got the chops. Out of all of them, he's got the most chops.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, you know Anthony, you know him most of all, but you also know who is now there in his place. Is Mariota somebody that you're expecting to do great things, or is it just like your expression?
Well, here's the thing. There are some guys that come in the league and they suffer a setback, and then when they get a chance to, or they get a setback when they, like, we're going to use Kate's guy as the example, TB12. He's a 6th-round draft pick out of Michigan. People were like, who? Like, when he ran in the game, if you weren't from Michigan and you weren't a draft person, you were like, who? Right. And now he went from being Thomas, Sean Wayne, Patrick David, the 800 Irish names Brady, to TB12, the GOAT of NFL quarterbacks. Yeah. And then you have guys that suffer setbacks and they don't really ever quite get over them. And that's my thing. Because remember, Marcus Mariota was a starter at Tennessee.
Oregon.
No, I'm talking about in the league came to the pros. Yeah. But he was a Heisman. He was the first Heisman Trophy Hawaiian-born Heisman Trophy winner out of Oregon. Yeah. So this guy had all of this going for him, and then he had this setback. And you see that more often than not with the Johnny Manziels and the Ryan Leafs and those guys. So the question is he going to take advantage? Is he going to take full advantage of this opportunity that he's been given, or is he just going to go, well, we're going to suck anyway. I'm just going to do what I can do enough to not get fired and bank my paychecks.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's to be seen, and it remains to be seen. And he is among a number of these quarterbacks that have somebody where if you don't succeed, you got somebody coming right up behind you. And Desmond Ridder in Atlanta, and Delilah, I'm coming to you. Mitch Trubisky, look, we are all glad that he's getting this opportunity. Shout out to North Carolina, my guy, you know what I mean? But we know who Pittsburgh and their fans like. They like that boy from the University of Pittsburgh in Kenny Pickett. How long do you think that's going to work in Pittsburgh? Lila, you got muted. Yeah.
Apologies. Sorry. I honestly, I don't think they'll give him that long, but I do think they'll get more than people think, only because Tomlin's different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, that's his team, and he's going to make the call. But I do think that he and everybody there's going to feel a lot of pressure to play him, like, just by one mistake. Not like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like any other quarterback might be forgiven like one or two stumbles, But I don't think Mitch will be given that there. Like they're gonna be like, all right, week 2, boom, like put, like, I just think that's he's not gonna have as much of a chance as he did with the Bears, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. No, he's got a very, very short leash. And look, you saw how the fans reacted when he came in the preseason game. You would have thought this man was Terry Bradshaw with it. You know what I mean? So that is very, very. I'm very interested in seeing kind of how that whole QB controversy comes out. I know Sid is paying attention to that. Is definitely interested in it. I'm going to go take my guy. Got to take Carson. We've known what's happened with him having 11-2 season, and then obviously tearing the ACL. We know he went to Indianapolis, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Solid year, but everybody remembers the last game of the year where they couldn't get it done against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had the number 1 pick of the draft. So this is a legacy type of season for him. Either it's going to be what could have been and all that promise, or it's going to be he rejuvenated his career. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, Washington's got some, we know how the management goes, but we got some spots. We got a guy that my guy Anthony's going to talk about a little later in Jahan Dotson. We got Terry signed up and ready to go. Samuel seems to be healthy. Let's see what Gibson does and, McKissick and prayers that, Brian Robinson gets back whenever he ends up getting back. But Carson, I'm comfortable, cautiously optimistic because I want to see what he does. But honestly, at the end of the day, I need him to stay healthy. But it leads me to my next question. Anthony, I'm going to come to you. Carson is one of these quarterbacks where it's kind of like you've been in a couple places and you kind of got this rap about you, maybe not the best locker room guy, maybe not, maybe he's a hero, he plays hero ball, tries to throw and make too many great plays, make too many big plays when he doesn't need to. There's a number of quarterbacks on this list. This might be their last stop. Do you see anybody else? Do you think this is Carson's last stop?
I do. I think this is his last. I think this is his last chance to even prove that he's a serviceable backup. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if he can't get it done as a starter with all the experience that he has, he may. They may keep him on the roster for now. But who's going to want to, but there's always, you know what? I'm going to walk that back. There's always somebody willing to pick somebody up. You understand what I'm saying? We're not going, we've talked ad nauseum about this situation with the quarterback in Cleveland,
mm-hmm.
the one that won't be playing for most of the season, but somebody was willing to pick him up with all of that baggage.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't think it'll be his last stop, but I think wherever his next stop is, it won't be somewhere he necessarily wants to be.
Well, right. Yeah, I think I think you're right where it might not be his last stop, but this might be the last chance that he has to kind of have somewhat of a say in where he's going.
Right.
Delilah, you talked about somebody that, we talked about in Seattle, Geno. I mean, he's been around so many teams, but now he's like, look, I'm making a paycheck, and now he's leading a team that might not look half bad.
No, I think he's gonna come out and do what he does. Right? Exactly. It's just he's gonna come out and do what he does. And I get why he got the start over Locke, I know he's probably like, why'd you bring me over here? But
right.
Like what's going on? But I get it. Like his demeanor is just different. He's a veteran, and it's just and I guess what what Carroll saw was he connect more with the guys, right? Because that's what we want. So obviously, he was making better connections. I think we'll see some really good things out of Seattle. I don't think they'll have obviously just a great season, but I don't think they'll have a losing season, or at least a really bad one. You know what I mean? I think there's some games that they can actually pick up. So hey, good luck to you, Geno. I think you actually have a good shot.
Right. And look, and everybody thinks it's such a dumpster fire out there and there's nothing going on. And we all know The team they're playing the first week, Delilah, you're going to cover it. The revenge game against Seattle and their former quarterback against Denver and Russell Wilson. But look, Seattle has pieces. We know what they did in the draft. They picked up a nice little running back from Michigan State, Kenneth Walker III. They have some players on defense, Jamal Adams. They can make some things happen. They might be a little bit of a sleeper team. But you talk about it, Geno, and also in New York, Tyrod Taylor still around somehow. I mean, look. Shout out to these guys. At the end of the day, none of us expected them to start. Well, some of these guys,
right? Yeah.
Some of these guys we did not expect to start. Yeah. But hey,
they're comfortable. They're comfortable where they are, though. Yes. Right. So like they'll be backup, they'll be starter. But these other guys we've been talking about, like the Wentzes, I don't think they'd be comfortable as a backup, but I can't see it. It's almost like a few quarterbacks that we don't talk about now that I don't think they're really liking backup, but they're paying them. So they're going to chill out there for a year right. and see what happens. It is. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You look at Andy Dalton. We're 3-4 years removed from him and AJ Green tearing up the league. And now he's bounced around as everybody's backup. He was in, Dallas. He was with y'all. Now he's in New Orleans. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's possible. So yeah, I could see Wentz falling that way. I could see. I mean, we haven't talked about it, but I could see Baker Mayfield falling that way if he doesn't win. I honestly, if he can't win with the Panthers, I see backup for him too. Yeah, like teams will sign him, but I don't think they'll give him like a starting gig anymore. Right. You know what I mean? So
well, look, if he can't shut his mouth, I mean,
I think we're gonna see a lot of these guys. If they can't get a winning season, then we're gonna see them. Like I think I agree with Anthony. Like I feel like teams will sign them, but not as starters anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they're guys that are still playing. I mean, Brady is an anomaly just to be a starter for so long and be able to perform at or excel where he's been. Like some people will say he's better now than he was 10 years ago. You know what I mean? But that's it. I mean, Geno Smith, I thought when I heard, I was like, he's still in the league. You said Andy Dalton. I was like, he's still in the league. Some of these guys came in the league and we knew they were going to be backups to begin with, but now they're getting that opportunity. And I have to disagree with you, Delilah, on one thing. I think if Baker doesn't work out with the Panthers, I think people will kind of give him just a skosh of a pass, but this will be his last mulligan. Because remember, they gave him a mulligan for so long because Cleveland was so dysfunctional. Mm-hmm. And now, the whole way they did this whole thing, well, he's hurt, we're going to get rid of him.
Right.
So he will get maybe a skosh of a mulligan unless he completely stinks up the joint. If he at least plays at or above, right above 500 or better, and it doesn't work out, he'll get one more starting gig somewhere. But again, he won't have his choice of where he's going unless he's balling all the way out, and the rest of the team is just complete garbage.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And let's be real. Also, is with that, if he has CMC, one of the best running backs in the league. I mean, it's an if, but he's right now scheduled and slated to play. So if he has that, if he has that number one ranked defense that Carolina was at one point last year, now getting all their healthy corners back, and if he can't succeed with that, then you got to sit back and say, all right, Baker, because look, you got to remember, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit. Baker still runs this. He did it in Oklahoma. He's done it in Cleveland, and now he's leaving Cleveland, talking about Cleveland, doing this and that. When you do this, your leash is just a tad bit shorter. But at the end of the day, you win and you're in.
Yeah, you do all the talking you want to. But Deion said, the only reason people let Deion Sanders talk so much is because Deion was just dominant at his position.
He was the best.
The Falcons as a whole were middle of the road, but Deion backed up everything. He's like, "Oh, you ain't catching nothing today," and he would shut that side down.
Oh yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean. But Baker has been
we're not putting them.
We can't compare that. Yeah.
We're not comparing them.
No, I know. No. I'm just saying that you had to look. If you talk the talk, you got to be able to walk the walk.
Right. You got to back it up.
Yes.
And you keep talking about this. If he does well, we got to wait and see. Because if Wishes was fishes, nobody would be starving. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying. What's my phrase? Pad on pad. We'll see come this weekend.
Yes. On that note, my guy, thank you very much for that. That was the coin toss. And look, we will definitely see what happens come game time. Like you said, when pad on pad comes. So we got the Thursday games, we got the Sunday games, and obviously the Monday night game. So we will definitely see. But we have to move on, ladies and gentlemen. And as we like to move on, there's always something going on, especially now that football is back. And with it being back, that means something must be going on today. So let's see what's going on today in football. Yeah, buddy, with Delilah Crespo. So Delilah, I'm coming to you. What's going on today in football history?
That was cool. So basic, something really weird happened. I'm sure our Steelers fan could probably give us some more details, or how the fans felt. So on September 6, 1989, the Pittsburgh Steelers were banned from practicing on their own field, Three River Stadium, because the Rolling Stones were rehearsing for their upcoming concert. So banned, so they couldn't even practice there. So really weird situation. And then on September 6, 1992, James Lofton, which people should know, he dominated Green Bay, and then he went on and had a really stellar career with the Bills. He just lucked out. But on that day, September 6, 1992, is when he actually became the NFL's all-time leader in receiving yardage.
Oh, cool.
It's been broken since, we know, with these other receivers, but he's he actually broke the record in 1992. So basically his gloves and all that are in the Football Hall of Fame. Also that same day, he led the day in 6 catches for 56 yards. And so basically he was an all-time leader in receiving yardage in 1992.
Nice.
Then this one happened a few days later, but September 8th, 1991, the coach, Bill Belichick, recorded his first NFL head coach win as a head coach for the Browns. He beat the Patriots 20-0. Which is funny, right? Isn't that something? So those are your 3 little bitty facts of what happened around the NFL on this day, or close to this day, September 8th, in our history. So a bunch of mini facts. When I find something heavier, I'll share it, but there wasn't too much going on because it was also the beginning of the season. So even then, but that's our NFL history.
Buddy, I can dig it. And ladies and gentlemen, that has been this day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, the thing about Delilah is she hits you with all the latest news and notes. She studies this stuff every day. If you guys can see our group chat, it is just everything. Every time something new comes up, Delilah's right there. I'm like, oh, let me check this out. I go to her sometimes before I go to ESPN. Okay. And with that, we had to have her on multiple shows. So there's another show coming up this Thursday, the night of the first game, with 4 dynamic ladies. Go ahead and check this out. Let's talk football. Ladies, take over. Yeah, buddy. So that is Let's Talk Football. Ladies Takeover. That will be Thursday night at 7:30.
Yes. Yes.
7:30 Eastern. They will be there previewing the games, doing they have a bunch of things. Delilah, what name some of the segments you guys have?
Hey, so we always have our cause, which we know when we do that when everybody cries, men and women together, because they're really great causes. We came up with that because the ladies, we know there's a lot of negativity out there in the NFL. We get that, but we also wanted to bring out some positive. We also spotlight a woman in the NFL, whether it's an owner, reporter, a coach, just someone that's made a difference and is breaking barriers in the NFL. We also do hot player of the week. So who we think, was the best player. We also are going to start doing some looking into games, right? What the games were. And so basically, we always make sure we do some news and notes in between. But those are really our main segments. On Thursday, I have an open house I have to go to. So Miss Tina, our Broncos fan, is going to come in and co-host for me.
Okay.
So it'll be kind of great to have. So we're going to have Broncos represented. So I've got to go do some teacher stuff. So unfortunately, it's sad I can't be here on the opening kickoff, which is awful. But hey, but it'll be fun. You'll still have Kate. You'll still have Ash, and then Tina, who is, our resident Broncos fan. So it'll be great to have her perspective on the show. And she knows a lot about football too, y'all. Yes. So the ladies are coming for you, okay? We do know our stuff. So it'll be nice to have her on board.
And some people will say, oh, they can hold their own. No. We learn from them. Don't get it twisted. All right. I told you, Delilah hits us with the updates all the time. Kate, if you ever need to know anything about Tom Brady, including maybe his favorite cereal, what he likes to do with his off day, that's Kate right there for you. And that team I don't like, the Cowboys. But Ash and Janae, diehard Cowboys fans, love what they bring to the table, man. Yeah, I see the church finger. I'm going to acknowledge it.
I love it. Janae will join us at, when she's ready, obviously newborn, right? So don't worry. She'll be back on the lady show.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Anthony? And now I can't hear you.
I peeped the intro and why am I mad that Janae got a tighter lineup than me, bro? And I'm bald. I'm bald and she got a tighter lineup than me. I'm like, that's dope though. Janae, if you watching the replay, I need the name of your barber so I can at least get this lined up. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up.
Yo, that's funny.
Absolutely. And we will definitely be getting into Let's Talk Football. It's coming back, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all saw the clip I put up today. We're coming back. The date and times to be determined. There's a lot of stuff we got to try to figure out. But in the meantime, there is so much to talk about, including these games that are coming up. And we will talk about in a segment called Game of the Week. And we're going to start with my guy, Mr. Anthony Handy, on a gentleman we actually just really kind of dove into just a little bit. Baker Mayfield went from Cleveland to Carolina. Now he's getting a new start. We've seen what he did in Cleveland, and no, it wasn't just commercials. It wasn't just those commercials. He took a team that before he got there was 1-30. I think 1-31 or
1-31.
Yeah, 1-31. He took them to the playoffs, whooped up on the Steelers, putting up like 28 in the first quarter. Okay, Baker did all that, but obviously because everything that went down, the OBJ nonsense, all that stuff, I'm doing too much talking. Anthony, talk about this game, this first revenge game, and what should we expect, man?
Well, I'm expecting both teams to come out high energy. Mm-hmm. One thing that because I follow Baker since he was at Oklahoma. Oh, yeah. He may not always get the job done. See the 2017 Rose Bowl for reference. Anyway, he may not always get the job done, but he's one thing he's really good about is getting the guys hyped up, getting his teammates around him hyped up, excited, and energized. Even in that game that I mentioned, they came out the gate, they were smacking They were smacking Georgia in the mouth, but this is not college football. We talking about pro ball. He's really good about getting those guys up for the game. I think he's going to go to Carolina. He's going to have those guys ready to run through a brick wall. Yeah. And then there's the smack talk. There's the, did he say I'm going to F these guys up, or did he just say I'm going to kick their butt? I tend to lean towards the other side, the first option, because, he was in Cleveland. He went from Bone Thugs to Petey Pablo at the stroke of a pen, and either one of them is ready to G up at any point in time. And Baker Mayfield definitely looks like he would take his shirt off, twist around his head like a helicopter. But we know the whole thing with Baker Mayfield. We know his story. Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma. Transferred from Texas Tech to Oklahoma. Drafted number 1 draft pick by the Cleveland Browns. They had a couple of really crappy seasons, and then all of a sudden the magic happened. The lights turned on. They went 11-5. They went 1-1 in the playoffs, and it was their first playoff win in God, how long? Since Jim Brown. No, since Bernie Kosar. Since the Bernie Kosar days. Right now the Panthers are projected to finish 7-10, third in the division. But this is a game that they're going to be up for. There's going to be some hits. There's going to be some trash talking on both sides of the ball. But the biggest thing that I see here is right now his top 3 teammates are C-Mac, Robbie Anderson, and Robbie Anderson just got cleared to play this week because he had some problems with quad in his hip. And his right tackle, Taylor Moton. Now, Taylor Moton has not missed a game in like 2 seasons. Okay. So then on the other side of the coin, you got Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett, who was drafted by the Patriots, who didn't really need a quarterback at that time. There was some guy from Michigan playing ball there, so they didn't really need him, but he was there just in case of emergency, pull parachute. He got traded to Indy in 2017, and he had 2 seasons where he was the primary starter. That was the year that Andrew Luck was hurt. And he threw for 3,098 yards, 13 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. His TD to interception ratio was not that great. And they also had a 4-11 record, but they also had an offensive line that was like Swiss cheese that year. And he got sacked, as a testament, his sack line, he got sacked 52 times that season. Then his second big year was 2019. That was the year they named him the starter after Luck left. 2,942 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Then he got traded to Miami. Now he's in Cleveland. I think he's got something to prove. I don't know if he's got any gas left in the tank after being kind of moved and shuffled around. And we talked about earlier how the quarterbacks just go from backup spot to backup spot. He's going to have to do something called what my father played college ball at Savannah State some 30 years before. Oh, Uncle Shay did. He was the offensive guard. He was the right offensive guard. If I do understand correctly, he was a big fella, stood at 5'11" and 250 pounds, which was big for 1960s. But he said his coach had an expression, and his coach had a saying. It was called "suck up a gut." He said, when you get out there, you run. When you run out of energy, you got nothing left, and you feel like you want to quit, you reach down and you suck up a gut. So Jacoby's going to have to suck up a gut. I think Baker's going to have more juice that day. I think he's going to have more juice that day. I'm just looking forward to that game, honestly. Now, per Vegas, here's the kicker. Per Vegas, while the Panthers are projected to go 7-10, this is per Caesar's Palace. Anybody got a guess what the projected record for the Cleveland Browns is this year?
I would say 10-7, the opposite.
Delilah, you got any guesses? Just spit me a number.
8 games, 8 wins.
8. How about Vegas has Cleveland at 12-4-1 this year?
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't, and that's hold on, and that is accounting for Deshaun not playing all that time. Mind you, that's factored in 12-4-1. So I'm anticipating, even though it might not be a clean game, it might be sloppy. I anticipate a goodly amount of excitement and some, as hard hitting as they can hit in the NFL, because they're only a couple of years away from wearing the giant padded helmets on
just being
Sunday.
in bubbles.
So,
Just being in big bubbles. Yeah, no, I'm excited about. I'm definitely eager to see the Baker Mayfield start in Carolina, and then also going against his former team. But like you said, hey, C-Mac, everybody, he was this huge dynamic threat, but now everybody just says if he'll play because of the injury issues.
Right.
Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, they have an offense, they have a defense in Carolina, but Cleveland, look, with all the injuries, they, if they can get a healthy team out there, Kobe is a serviceable guy. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens coming into this one.
Well, right now the questionables are Perrion Winfrey, Chris Hubbard, and Jack Conklin. 2 offensive tackles, and Winfrey being a defensive tackle. They're all questionable. There's nobody on the questionable list for Carolina. So, and right now, the odds are the ESPN ticker has Cleveland as a 62.7% favorite.
Okay. I like that.
The needle may move some more before game time, but right now that's where it stands.
Right. Yeah, it could definitely move. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But I know it's a game that people will be tuned in to see, if not for anything else, but for the simple revenge factor. Yeah. Cleveland wants to get their shot at Baker. Baker wants to get his shot at Cleveland. Speaking of revenge factors, there was a guy that they said was Danger Russ, who used to play on the West Coast. Actually, still kind of does play on the West Coast. He didn't go that far. Moved from Seattle to Denver, and now plays a mile high for the Denver Broncos. And they go the first week of the year, and they play the Seattle Seahawks, his former team. Delilah, I'm coming to you. Woo, this should be interesting. What are your thoughts about this one?
Yeah, so I feel like this one is like a revenge thing. I think at the end there we're hearing like him and coach there we're butting heads, which happens with quarterbacks and head coaches right after a while. And so I feel like his is more like he's going in more to see if he could beat his old coach's team. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not even like a question of Geno himself, but it's like I need to come in here and prove that I still had, I have something in my tank. Yeah. Right? Like, I think what's interesting is I feel like both teams have really like decent receivers and have decent like running backs. Like even with injuries, like there's not too many guys out. Yeah. And so I think that in that regard, they're pretty evenly split. And so like, we want to see if Jerry Jeudy could finally have a breakout season, right? Because we don't feel like he's had a quarterback, of this stature to actually see if he could make that happen. So who knows? We might see him explode. But again, you have, Tyler Lockett over there. I know he's hot-headed sometimes, but still, we know he sometimes, gets it, but he still knows what he's doing. He still have DK Metcalf. And so like, Seattle didn't lose everyone, actually it's pretty still intact. It's just they got a new quarterback, but and again, like with Denver, like their defense is supposed, it's gonna be pretty good. Like they're gonna be pretty stacked, and so I think that's really what's gonna come down to be honest. Like Russ is definitely gonna go out there and sling it. Like there's no way he's not going to, right? And so, but I think Seattle's gonna put up more of a fight than people think. Is gonna happen. Like I do think, I think Geno's gonna play well. Broncos get the W, no doubt. Yeah. But I don't think it's gonna be like a blowout game. Like right. I do think it's gonna be closer than people think.
Is it the ESPN line has it close, doesn't
it?
They
do, yeah. It was like 57% to like 43, Ooh. Which I know it's still pretty wide, but it's not a wide margin as we see with other games, right? Where it's like 70 to whatever,
Right,
so,
right.
So the margin of error is actually not too bad for the Seahawks, And I've seen weird stuff happen. We know this, right? Mm-hmm. Every season, we're certain we're like, this team's gonna get the W, and if something happens because it's football, we're like, wow, okay, I guess not.
Yeah. Yes, I didn't call it right. Yep.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see some good stuff. I think come out of both. But I'm excited to really see Javonte Williams and Jerry Jeudy and see what they do with, with this quarterback. I want to see Russ go out there, who never missed a game until he broke that thumb.
I want to see Russ look at Seattle's O-line that all of a sudden they built after he left.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, really, guys.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah. So I want to see but yeah, do I give the win to the Broncos? Yeah. But I don't think it'll be a blowout though. I think the Seattle defense isn't awful either, and so. But yeah, it should be good, man. Hey, Nick.
Nick.
It should be good. I do like the revenge games, and they pit the old team against player against their old team. It's always a good time.
Absolutely. Hey, shout out to our guy, Mr. Nicholas. You say it. You just said it.
I want the smoke.
Mario is at Wrigley Field. I believe they have a concert. It's not a baseball game, right? Or is it a baseball game?
No,
it might be both.
It's a game.
It's a game. Yeah, because season's not over. It's early September. No. But Cubs aren't playoff bound, are they?
No.
No. Okay. Wow.
I like that little laugh.
But I was honest about that. But we knew we were playoff bound. But I don't know. But the White Sox, oh no. They've been heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not a baseball show, but
right. Shout out to our guy Nick. Man, glad you were able to get a chance to watch, man. He will be back next week to talk this NFL stuff after we have a week's worth of games in the books. I cannot wait to see what he has on the table. And I'll wrap this segment up of Game of the Week. And yes, you see the shirt, it's a little burgundy. I'm going to go ahead and be Homer all day. I'm taking my Washington Commanders, new name, new quarterback. Okay. We're ready. We're going to do this. We looking for Anthony. What are you looking for? We're about to.
I don't know.
Command.
Stop it, Skip. Stop it.
You know what? To that one, I'm going to give this to myself. Really? Nathan didn't like that.
I'm gonna give you the ultimate Nathan. I'm gonna give you the ultimate Nathan Snow.
Right. What are you doing? Look, Washington is coming out, and I mean, look, talk about revenge games. The last team that Carson Wentz played at the end of the year was the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now you got a new look Jacksonville Jaguars team. No Urban Meyer, no Tim Tebow at tight end. You got Trevor Lawrence coming back for his second year. Everybody, was kind of hard on the guy because of the record, but the guy threw for over 3,500 yards. You know what I mean? He had James Robinson at running back, and now he gets his buddy from Clemson, Etienne, back. So that two-headed monster in the backfield could be potentially very scary. And Etienne's brother is actually coming up in college. I forget. I don't know if I got to remember where he's playing, but he is a scary entity in that. Then you got Marvin Jones Jr., wide receiver, and you got Christian Kirk, who, as we know, set the wide receiver contract numbers ablaze with his contract coming over here. They are a team that I personally believe a lot of people are going to sleep on, but they're going to be a team that's going to hit a couple people in the mouth this year. I'm interested in seeing what Jacksonville can bring to the table. Washington, as far as us, look, I've been covering us all year. Shout out to our guy, Brian Robinson, out of the hospital after getting shot, after being carjacked in D.C. So right now, potentially they're saying that he could come back, but I'm not. It's for me. You take your time. You sit back. We'll take care of it on this side, young buck. You do your thing. This is a Carson Wentz prove it game for me. I want to see what Terry McLaurin, freshly signed in action. I want to see what he's doing. Curtis Samuel, is he healthy? From Carolina. A guy that my guy Anthony's about to talk about, Mr. Jahan Dotson, the shiny new toy that everybody is so excited about. I really want to see what kind of offense we come with. Gibson, I love him. Great hands. But the dude has a fumbling issue that we just have to get fixed. So it's gonna be really intriguing to see what happens. I got us winning this thing very slim. very, very, very slim, by a very slim margin. I just believe that we can do it. But it's going to be a shootout, though, because I have no faith whatsoever in my defense. I like my front line. Chase Young will not be back till at least mid-season. So we're talking potentially after the bye, and we get a bye in, I believe, like week 8. Oof. So we still have Jonathan Allen. We still got our rookie Fidarius Mathis out of Alabama. We still got Deron Payne. Matter of fact, Jonathan Allen, Fidarius Mathis, and Deron Payne, all Alabama alum. Then we got Montez Sweat. So we still have a solid line. Our linebackers leave a lot to be desired. You know, we're struggling at that point, and our secondary still kind of has to come together under Jack Del Rio at defensive coordinator. But honestly, I think this is going to be a tight one. I think this is going to be a back and forth matchup. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to be able to just inch past these guys. But watch out for Jacksonville this year, because they are going to be, in my opinion, much improved. And I'm seeing playoffs. I can see them going and doing it. The NFC South, we know Texans. We know about the Colts. And, you know, Matt Ryan could do something. And we know about the Titans. But I think Jacksonville's made enough moves. And number 1 pick out of Georgia. They trade Trayvon Walker. They were able to get him. So I'm eager to see what they bring to the table. I think it's going to be a tight one. NFC.
You said NFC South. You meant AFC South.
I mean, right? AFC in the South. Yeah, in the AFC South. I think it's going to be a tight one. Kind of similar to how we did the Chargers a year ago, where we just lost that in the end. I think it's going to be a turnover late in the game that's going to make the difference. But I'm very, very nervous about Mr. Trevor Lawrence, because I think he's about to light the world on fire with his air attack this coming year. So
yeah, that boy said he had enough of losing.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I think that's like probably the first time he's really been losing as bad as he did, coming all the way up from high school, college, you know what I mean? So I'm eager to see kind of what he does, because I know he's now set and ready to go. He's going to get our old guard, Brandon Sheriff. He's got him over there. So let's see what he brings to the table, but it's gonna be I'm gonna be sitting here like pulling out the little hair I have, because I already know it's gonna be stressful, because our defense I'm not excited about, but our offense, Carson Wentz, this is an opportunity. Let's see what he brings to the table, and like we talked about before, this is a make it or break it, in my opinion. If you want to start anywhere else, including here, you're gonna have to show that you are definitely improved. So we'll see. We will definitely see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a number of games going on this week. The Bills playing the Rams, the ones that we mentioned. Dallas playing the GOAT. I mean, Dallas playing the Buccaneers. There is a number of games, and we cannot wait to see what happens. Thursday night is when it all starts off. But there's a number of reasons why we can't wait. But before we do you like football? I like football. The people that are on this show like football. Correction, we love football, so much so that they take their precious time to hang out with me, Sean Spencer. Some people call me a shout-out king. Some people call me the Godfather. Some people call me for dinner. That's my favorite moment. But we have a lot of shows, and look, if there's hours in the day, that means we need to be on there. So go ahead and tune into what shows we got, and then I got something good for you after the break. righty, ladies and gentlemen. So that is all of the shows we have. We are on every single day with the exception of Friday nights, which is where our good friend Andrew Colbert, aka Foogs, has North Sports Dynasty on. So look, whether it's our show, whether it's a sister show or a parent show, whatever, we are talking football because that's what we love to do. And speaking of one of those shows, ladies and gentlemen, it's not. Oh wow, no crumbs either, Anthony. Nice.
Wait. Did you see the comment I put on there, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, bro,
Exactly.
look. Junior came by right before the show started. I was like, "Can you stop at the store and get me some fudge stripes?"
There you go.
So look, I ate during the break. I ate that whole row and right there.
This show is not sponsored by Fudge Stripes.
Right. Yeah,
diabetes.
But yo, speaking of it, man, that last show that was on that commercial is this week in SEC on Mondays and Thursday nights or whenever they come on again during the week. Now that college football is back, my guy, Mr. Anthony Handy, and his co-host, Colin P. from the DMV talks about the SEC, and very happy to be here and all of that good stuff.
You almost got all the names, man. That's what's up.
Yo, but my guy, Mr. Anthony Handy, him talk SEC, but they also talk all college football. They talk about a number of players and stars. So as a bridge from college football to the pros, Anthony Handy, give us a little spotlight on a rookie that's in the pros right now. And I'm excited about who you're bringing.
I wonder why you would be excited about who we're bringing. Well, today my rookie spotlight falls on a young man who was born in Pennsylvania and attended high school at Nazareth Area High School. He was a wide receiver. And his school record, he set several school records as a high school wide receiver at Nazareth Area High School. He had 187 receptions total. He had 2,755 receiving yards, and he had 40 receiving touchdowns. Now, this young man was originally slated to go to UCLA. He declared that that's where he was going, but then he got flipped over to Penn State. Ladies and gentlemen, I am speaking with you about none other than the 16th pick in the 2022 draft and rookie Washington Commander, Mr. Jahan Dotson. While he was at Penn State, he played all 4 years, and that's something you don't see a lot of. Now, he didn't get as much playing time in his freshman year, but he did get increased playing time. His breakout year was 2020. That was the year. He had 52 catches for 864 yards and 8 TDs. In the 2 previous years, he caught somewhere between a couple 100, 400 yards. I think it was 200 and something, 100 and something his freshman year and 300 something in his sophomore year. But then 2021 was the comeback year when he caught 91 catches for 1,182 yards and 12 touchdowns. He actually broke Deion Butler's record for receiving yards per game against Maryland. We poked a little fun at our good buddy Nathan earlier. But against Maryland, this was just last year where he caught 11 passes for 242 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
By the time he left Penn State and had declared for the draft, he had finished second in 5 different categories overall career-wise. Career receptions with 183, single season receptions with 91, single season yards with 1,182, career touchdowns with 25, and single season touchdowns with 12. And as we mentioned, in the 16th pick of the draft, the Commanders traded, it says here, via New Orleans through Philadelphia in Indiana. I'm not exactly sure how all of that works, but they traded to get this kid. They said, we got to have this kid. We need to pick this kid up. And this is what we've heard. This is rookie season. This is what we've heard out of camp so far. They one of the reasons the Commanders loved him was they said that he was probably one of the most pro-ready players in the draft as far as the wide receivers were concerned. And he has 100% to their satisfaction proven them right. He's been sharp, displayed veteran route running. To quote, veteran route running savvy with excellent hands. They say he's 5'11", so he's 2 inches shorter than me. And they say he plays like a 6'4", 6'5" receiver. He makes all the acrobatic catches. He challenges on jump balls. And he will make an excellent compliment to the man they call Scary Terry McLaurin. He's projected actually to be the number 2. By the time everything's all said and done, they're projecting him to be the number 2 receiver. And not only that, he's not getting a whole lot of buzz right now because, they always start talking about who's going to be the offensive player of the year, who's going to be the offensive rookie of the year. And the names you're hearing thrown around already, you're hearing Pickens thrown around. You're hearing Chris Olave. I highlighted him last year. Even Sky Moore from Western Michigan.
Yep.
But there is a writer, a very prominent writer, and he's a draft analyst named Daniel Jeremiah. He thinks that this guy right here, our guy, Jahan Dotson, will surpass all of them. He picked Dotson to finish the season as the NFL receiving yards leader. He's already a fan favorite in Washington. Like I said, he goes up for jump balls. He can catch balls in traffic. He's considered to be underrated, but he's ridiculously talented. For one, I'm a Falcons fan, but you don't live in an area with a pro sports franchise and not get drawn into them. I have become endeared of the Redskins football team, Commanders, and I follow them I follow them just as closely as I follow the Falcons. So I, for one, am excited to see what this young man is going to put together this season. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been your rookie spotlight of the week, Mr. Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
Back to you, Ted.
Nice job.
Yeah, I second everything that he said. Let's go. I'm hoping for the best. And I'm hoping that there's nothing said about him because they're trying to hide him down there so that he can just blow up on that first day.
I thought you was getting ready to preach behind me for a second. I can call Reverend Red and Black. That's the thing.
If I start preaching and then we lose, the sermon's gonna turn, and I don't want to do that. I don't. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for that rookies spotlight by Anthony Handy. Again, like I said, you can catch him on Mondays and Thursdays this week in the SEC. Him and Colin P, where they hit everything SEC and bring in a couple of other teams. And in the upcoming weeks, they will be having guests on that are certain fans of certain teams, talking about their teams, talking about the SEC, college football in general. So I'm so excited to see that show expand and what else is on the agenda for you guys. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, 100%, man. I am too, dude. One message booked us 4 guests just like that.
There you go.
And so we'll be talking with them on the weeks that we'll be matching up. If any of these folks have key matchups, we've got Texas and Oklahoma fan lane. We ain't in the SEC yet, but we'll come talk. So hey, I'm all for it because it sounds a lot like a story I heard somebody tell me about how a program got started by 2 people in the church and now it has like 18 shows like ESPN. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I'm going to do 18 shows because I'm already on 2 shows a week and feature on 5 or 6. But if we can grow that one show into something big, I'm happy with it.
If you bring the content, if you bring the right stuff, and you bring validity in your breakdown, your analysis, like we all do in all these shows, that's second nature. That stuff will definitely happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, definitely tune into This Week in the SEC because I'm telling you, it's really, really good stuff. But look, as you said, I am sitting in for my guy, Mr. Nicholas Rosario, who, as he has stated a little bit earlier, is at Wrigley right now. Shout out to him, my guy, no doubt. But we want to, even though he's absent, we have a segment called Nick's Picks, ladies and gentlemen, and we want to bring them up. And he was kind enough to send us a video. But if you're not familiar with Nick, just check this out.
Blah, 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 blah. This happened, that happened. You guys are sold on Carson Wentz?
In the NFC East, where does he rank in the NFC East?
Well, let's look at this. You got Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott and one Carson Wentz. If I'm being honest, my opinion only. So take it for what it is. Even though I'm not a Dak fan, I got to put Dak ahead of him. And slightly, maybe Jalen Hurts, maybe not. I'd say he's right there in the middle with him. I would say him and Jalen are probably even at this point. And then Daniel Jones brings up the rear. Like I said, this is Carson's chance. You know, your division is still not strong, let's be honest. It's still there for the taking, guys. And Washington has the ability to take it over, but you got to win, and it's got to start with Carson. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's
Got to give my guy Nicholas Rosario a chance to break down the NFC East and the quarterbacks and all that. And obviously, he talks trash about my quarterback. But, you know, I'm with him. I agree with what he said. It is Carson's year to figure it out. So I am with that. And one of the things that Nick also likes to do is he does his bets. He does his parlays. And he was kind enough to send us a video of how he's going to go ahead and bet in that first week. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Nick's picks.
Well, hello everyone. It is your boy, Nick Rosario. I am back. It is NFL Week 1, and you know what that means. It's time for Nick's picks. That is right. I choose 4 games every week, and I give you what my opinion is basically on who I think will win based on the betting lines. So this week, I have 4 games for Week 1. Now, understand, it is Week 1. There's a lot of optimism. Everybody's riding high. It's Week 1. They're excited. The crowds are there. It's going to be great. But I have 4 games after looking at the slate that I think we might do pretty well this week. So, you know, again, first week, you never know what's going to happen. Again, everybody's level is 100. Everybody's excited. So here we go. Now, first game I have, you're going to love this one. I'm breaking my own rule because I always said I would never really bet on my local team. But again, it's Week 1. Optimism's high. So we have Bears, 49ers, and the Bears are +7. They're getting 7 points in this game. And, you know, Trey Lance making his 3rd NFL start. I know they have some weapons. I know they have a pretty good defense. But I'm feeling lucky, and I'm feeling optimistic. So I'm going to go with the Bears +7 in this game this week against the 49ers. Now, second game. This is a good one, too. Lions-Eagles. Now, here's the thing. Everybody is thinking that, you know, Philadelphia is going to win the NFC East. They got everything they need now. But I might be, drinking a little bit of the Lions Kool-Aid. The Lions are getting 4 points in this matchup against the Eagles. And again, it's Week 1 and anything can happen. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Lions +4. Yes, you heard it here first. Next game might upset my buddy Sean Spencer just a little bit. Washington Commanders, as they are now named, against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, again, these are 2 teams that I feel could go either way this year in terms of maybe injuries or, you know, quarterback play, all that sort of stuff. But in this game, I'm going to take the Jaguars +3. They are getting 3 points. And again, Week 1, anything can happen. Trevor Lawrence got his running backs back. He's got a couple of receivers. So I'm going to take the Jaguars +3. Now, for my last game this week, Russell Wilson faces his old team, the Seattle Seahawks, on Monday Night Football. Going to be a great one, I think. But I think the Broncos definitely take care of Seattle. They're giving up 6.5 points. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos -6.5 this week for that Monday night game. So to recap, boys and girls, we're going Bears +7, Lions +4, Jaguars +3, and Broncos -6.5. So we'll see what happens. Of course, I will check back in next week to give you what my record was for the first week and give you my picks for the following week. Thank you all for watching. Have a great first week.
Yes, sir. Our guy, Mr. Nicholas, I want the smoke. Rosario still could not be with us live, still gave us some of his flair, some of his energy. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to tell you, Last year, he was 500. So for every 4 that he won, he also lost 4. So you had good weeks, you had bad weeks, but he kept it going, and he's ready to do it this year. I'm in agreement with all of his picks, except the Washington one. Except the Washington one. Everything else I'm good with. But shout out to Nick. He'll be back next week, and he'll bring more of Nick's picks. And I love this segment. Everybody loves it. They pay attention to it, and it helps people. I'm telling you. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. You've been here with us. You've watched us. You talked football with us the whole day or the whole evening, and I appreciate it. Next week again, Nick will be back. But while you have me, we have one more segment, ladies and gentlemen. One last thought, ladies and gentlemen.
You had to catch yourself.
Right? I did. I saw the word. So, we are here. One last thought. I'll give you one more thing that we want to say to take you into the week. Delilah, since ladies are first, I will come to you. What you got?
My final thought. One, I just want to say hi to everybody. I know some of you are saying hi to me, and so was not ignoring anyone. Just wanted to make sure the show kept flowing. But hello, everyone out there. Love you guys. I'm not ignoring your comments. I just wanted to say hi to everyone that said hi on the chat. But what I wanted to say is to make sure you get enough sleep. And it could be, and I know it's different for everybody.
Yes.
I get it. And I know it can be really hard. But try your best to get as much as you sleep, at least solid. Everything that I've read said is better to have 5 hours of solid sleep, uninterrupted, just straight sleep than just, the interrupted sleep, right? Mm-hmm. So try your best to get as much sleep as possible. I know everybody's schedule is so different. I know that could be so challenging. If you cannot, naps are always great. Fine. And when I say nap, I mean nap. It doesn't mean sleep for 2 hours. It's not a nap.
That is a nap.
It's not.
Get over 50 and get back at me.
It's not a nap. You might as well have went to bed.
Not at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It just mean I gotta start the DVR over. That's
I'm telling you. But really try to get as much rest as you can. I mean, as much, and like I said, I get it. It could be really challenging with our hectic schedules and everything going on, but at least try to get as much decent sleep as you can, as possible, whenever possible. And when you can nap, doesn't always happen, take advantage of glorious naps. We gave up so much nap time when we were younger, fighting no more nap. And look at now, it's please give me my naps back. No, but really, that's part of taking care of yourself. Try to make sure you get that rest. It's just as important as everything else, right? Eating well, movement, exercising, right? Everything that we talk about, that sleep is super important. So try to get as much as you can when you can.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I see you. All right, Mr. Anthony Handy, what you got on this one last thought?
Well, first of all, I want to say, Delilah, amen, and amen. Mm-hmm. My weekends used to be full of get up and go until till it's time to go to bed. Now I get up, I do something for a little bit. I might sit in my recliner and go to sleep for a little bit, and then get up and keep it pushing. I don't want to be that guy to be like, what Pop doing? Oh, he taking his nap. He'll be up in a minute. I don't want to be like that. I'm not ready for that yet. But hey, it is what it is. I don't really have a last thought. I just want to say, and I will say this periodically. You will hear me say this, over time. Sean, I appreciate you, bro, for planting the seed. Because sometimes you see something in somebody else that they don't see. And like I was saying the other day, I don't know which show it was, that my whole thing was doing the podcast. I always was the comic relief. I never had to really come on and contribute anything, but just be the guy to hit the funny observation, hit the joke, maybe roll for 5 minutes with it, and then back up off of it. So now you saying, hey, you like this and he likes that, and why don't you guys do this? And here we are. We're 22 episodes into a second season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I appreciate you. And Delilah, I appreciate you for at least laughing at when I came on and did the Uncle Shay Shay. So at least I knew that the jokes were still funny enough that I could keep doing. She's like, oh my God, he got on the sweater and everything. So you know, Uncle Shay Shay, the Uncle Shay Shay just had that effect on the ladies. I don't know what it is.
It was just too good. So thank you.
But I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys for just for bringing me in. And Sean, me and you chop it up sometimes after the show, and you be like one time I was getting ready to be like, bro, you ate me up in the comments. What were you doing? He's like, nah, bro, I was trying to feed you stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool. So I appreciate all of that, the development, everything I've learned from bits and pieces, and now I've had to up my AV game because I can't let the guy. I know you're the Godfather, but I can't let you outdo me on these interludes. So you get it's keeping up with the Joneses. You get a new intro, damn it, I'm getting a new intro too. So I appreciate, but had I not been a part of this, then that's also something that I would have just been. Folks be like, why you got that 1995 intro? Look like you did it on Microsoft Paint. So. I appreciate that. I'm just letting you know that I appreciate the fact that whatever that was you saw, that you were like, I want to tap into that and bring out the stuff, whatever it is, and and present it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, sir. And Delilah, real quick side note, and then I'm gonna shut up and let Sean do his last thought. You was talking about naps, and then you said solid. And it sounded like you said salad, and I was like, I got salad too. I mean, I'm eating cookies, but I do a couple times, no joke though, a couple times a week I make myself a giant salad. This is all salad right here. This is chicken breast and lettuce and onions and stuff like that. I was like, dang.
I'm sorry. Sometimes that Chicago accent with them O's just come out, and
yes. You hearing salad, you might need a nap.
It could be my Chicago accent coming through. It happens.
Yo, straight up, it's to me, everybody that does any of these shows is natural. It's natural. Like I don't have to push anything with you guys. Delilah, I don't have to push anything for you to sit here every day and send us the new updates, send us the new stuff. Anthony, the only thing I try to do with you is try to throw a little football knowledge in with the joke, because the jokes and all that stuff is there, but you command the stage, and that if you can harness that and then throw that maybe a little football that like we're doing on the SEC and this, it just makes you more dynamic, man. And you, I mean, again, like I've told everybody that I work with, you guys have the gift. Only thing I'm trying to do is kind of channel it in a direction so that hey, you can go and you have another avenue that you can go do. If what you're doing, your main thing ain't going, maybe you can jump in this avenue and we can do this, man. Because honestly, at the end of the day, we do good stuff, but it's not I appreciate the love, but it's not me, because you guys also work your butts off and you still have to commit to doing these shows and doing the videos and talking and doing that type of stuff. And I do not take that for granted at all. I appreciate y'all. Nick, that goes for you as well. You know, I know it wasn't easy kind of taking over with it, but as I kind of step back into more of a producer role with a lot of things, I definitely am just so glad that I have people that are willing, like you guys are, to say, hey, you know, it's getting close to my bedtime, but I still want to give you this because, hey, that's you trusted me, like I trust you guys, and you guys trust me. So I'm going to give you the best that I got, Anita Baker, and and then I'll go ahead and y'all do the same. And with that, along with that, my one last thought is ain't nothing to it but to do it. I already know you guys have heard that from, you know, maybe rappers or whoever, but I think it's so simple. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. A lot of times you talked about Anthony, you know, it wasn't until I started talking to you about, going this avenue, this and that. For me, that's a lot of what it was. I thought Janae was going to go out of town, she was going to Australia, and I didn't know if we were going to have Let's Talk Football anymore. So I sat there one day, I talked to my guy, Anton. He said, if you want to keep it going, you have to do it. You have to talk to people. So what did I do? I had already talked to Delilah, and I already talked to Nick, and on Kevin. Shout out to Kev Rock and Karaoke, and we had talked before and said, hey, let's do this. Let's talk. We were watching, who was it? The Bears and the Vikings, and Norm was on there, and his TV was ahead of ours, so he kept calling. It wouldn't happen. We were like, Norm, be quiet, man. We trying to see the game, but it started from that, and it was a question. You guys want to do that? Would you guys be interested in doing that? And look, this today marks season 3 that we've been doing it. We've been going hard at this. And it's a testament to the show, to where Anthony was able to come in, and it wasn't a huge transition from me being out to Anthony being in. The show still flowed. You still have things moving and grooving. That's a testament to you guys. But at the same time, it's also like there's nothing to it. You just have to do it. The worrying is worse than the doing. And a lot of times when we start thinking about can I or should I, then we stop and we don't think about, I should just do it. I should just done it. You know what I mean? So kudos to you guys. Kudos to every member of the Let's Talk Football family and everybody that's associated with us through the other shows and the other different parent groups and everything like that. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate all of you, because I know you are taking precious time that you could be using to take a nap or getting serious sleep to come talk football with me or be on these shows.
Or a salad.
All right, eat a salad. So, that's my one last thought, guys. Just don't even think about it. Just do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, another amazing episode of I was about to say This Week in the SEC. Let's Talk Football, the Round Table. Again, next week, my guy, Nicholas Rosario, Mr. I Want to Smoke, will be back in here, and we will have 1 week slate of NFL games to talk about. We will also be back with this day in history, in NFL history, with Delilah Crespo. Rookie Spotlight, Anthony Handy, Nick's Picks will be back. I will be back in my producer role from behind the scenes, playing those clips, trying to give y'all the best that I got. I'm going to keep that one. I might play that when I get in the car. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have to let you go. So we just want you to know football is back, ladies and gentlemen. And matter of fact, Anthony, you did this a year ago. You had your preacher voice. Can you send us out on a little football is back sermon, brother? After he's done, we're out here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sean Spencer, Anthony Handy, Delilah Crespo. Anthony, take the floor, my brother.
This is the Reverend Red and Black coming to you from Zagniff Studios, talking Let's Talk Football. And back in February, the Super Bowl ended, and the paper fell from the sky. The ticker tape parades happened, and nobody threw the trophy this year because that guy didn't win. But another young man, repping from Texas, came through Georgia, found his way to Michigan, out in California, won a trophy. And then for the longest time, we followed the rumors, what would happen, who did what at the combine, who said what. Urban Meyer got fired. No, his name is Meyer. It rhymes with fire. But football is back. The pageantry, the commercials, all of it is back. And so is Let's Talk Football. From Sean and Anita Baker to me and my salad 5 hours of sleep to cookies at the commercial break, to all of our catchphrases and the clips. And it's back, and we missed it. We fiend for it like Tyrone Bigham's fiend for his next hits. Like it wasn't a peanut butter and crack sandwich. It was the pigskin we were fiending for, and now it's back. It was the smell of the paint as they put the yard markers and the hash marks on the field. It was the bands coming out. It was the hail to the whatever their name is this week in the burgundy and gold. It was the Dallas people going, we them boys. No, we not. Wait a minute, we might be. It was rise up, rise down, rise around, Cupid shuffle. We wanted all of it, and it is back. And we are here for all of it.
Amen to that one.
And that concludes Sermonette number 347, now available on Spotify, iHeartRadio. We take donations at Cash App at Reverend Red Black, not at Reverend Red Black, hashtag not Mr. Fingers Twin. Thank you so much. God bless you. Go with God.